Apple launches a new phone and a new tablet this week, and Xiaomi disappoints us all with the global launch of the Mi Pad 5 and Mi 11T and Mi 11T Pro. Hey guys, my name is Mitchell. Welcome to the Friday News. If you're new around here, I like to sum up a couple of my favorite stories from the week, comment and talk to them about you guys, respond to your comments on Twitter and Discord, and let you guys know what I think is interesting in the world of tech. Now, Apple launched a series of new iPhones this week. It's the iPhone 13, 13 mini, 13 Pro, and 13 Pro Max. And these new iPhones are going to be featuring the same type of sensor shift stabilization that the iPhone 12 Pro Max had. Along with that, the new iPhones feature really fast apertures on their cameras. From my memory, we're talking about an aperture faster than an f1.7, which is the hole that light can go through for the camera lens. This in and of itself can offer up to 20, 30, 40% more light, meaning you can get significantly better camera performance without investing in a new sensor. And whether or not Apple has new sensors or not, the f-stop of these cameras means that you're going to be able to get a better portrait effect without computational learning. And that is going to bring me into the next thing that Apple announced, which was their cinematic video mode. Now, their cinematic video mode is going to be using their They're going to be using their depth scanning sensors that they have to go ahead and create like fake bokeh blur on eyes and stuff like that to be able to give users more cinematic camera movement and rack focus. All of this stuff is really, really cool because the iPhone is considered to be the gold standard of mobile cinematography and mobile video making. Another kind of weird, interesting thing is that Apple now is offering ProRes, which is a type of video recording file format for the iPhone 13. But they're not bringing this to the iPhone 12 or iPhone 11 with a software update. And on top of that, if you want to record ProRes video on your 128 gigabyte iPhone 12 Pro Max, it's going to cap out at 1080p, which this is all just like Apple's way to get you to spend more money with them. I am personally not the biggest fan of this, although I do really respect what Apple is doing with technology. Now, talking about the iPhone 12 Pro, or the iPhone 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max, Apple is bringing their Pro Motion XDR displays to these devices. And as I talked about in my video covering that, these displays are going to track the speed that you are interacting with the UI and the UX to dynamically increase and lower the refresh rate of the display. This is completely different from how Android OEMs have done this in the past. Android OEMs, the biggest case of this being Google and Samsung, will go ahead and dynamically change the refresh rate of the displays based upon which application you're using, meaning user input speed is not taken into account when the refresh rate of the display is being changed. I know that a bunch of people commented on my original video saying we've had high refresh rate on like Android phones forever, and I've owned 3 devices with high refresh rates. What Apple is doing is different because they are monitoring the speed which you interact with a device and then changing the display based on that. That means that you can get a high refresh rate experience without sacrificing the battery life. And this is totally separate from what Xiaomi does. Now, on the subject of Xiaomi, Xiaomi launched the Mi Pad 5. And if you guys are enjoying this video, a subscribe would be massively appreciated. If you want to talk to me, go ahead and hit me up on Twitter. I do the global content creator chats with Frankie Tech, Xiaomiify, and some of your favorite creators all the time. And if you follow me on Twitter, you'll be notified when I join in on that, and we can all talk, interact, and discuss tech. Now, Xiaomi launched the Mi Pad 5 globally, the Mi Pad 5 Pro, the Xiaomi Mi 11T, and the Mi 11T Pro globally, along with the Mi 11 Lite 5G NE. Blah. These devices from Xiaomi are, in my opinion, well, okay, before I say this, talking about Xiaomi in this way means that I will never get any kind of press interaction from Xiaomi. And I'm sacrificing that to give you guys honest, unfiltered thoughts. And if you appreciate that, go ahead and support me. The Mi 11T and Mi 11T Pro, in my opinion, are a joke. They are Xiaomi's pinnacle of using parts that they have left over, maybe putting 1 or 2 new features in, and then calling it something new and revolutionary. The Mi 11T Pro uses the same camera hardware as my Redmi Note 10 Pro, or for people in India, Redmi Note 10 Pro Max. It's the Samsung HM2 sensor. That said, Xiaomi did give us a much faster and better lens on the Mi 11T Pro. On this device, it's an f1.9. On the new Xiaomi device, it's a 1.67 f-stop aperture lens. I'll have the correct information for that up here. That means more light will be allowed through the lens. You'll get better photos at night and low light conditions. It's still using the Potato ultra-wide camera, and instead of giving us a zoom, we have a tele macro lens. The biggest disappointment with this entire device launch is the lack of optical image stabilization. Xiaomi's cameras this year have really been disappointing. The sensor that they're using in the Xiaomi Mi 11 is the HMX sensor that debuted almost 2 years ago on the Mi Note 10 Pro. The sensor that they're using on the Redmi Note 10 Pro is the HM2, which is actually really good camera hardware. The HM1 was the sensor that was used in the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra, and it's a great sensor, and it combines 9:1 pixel binning, which means that you can get 12 megapixel images out of this phone, and it's a very good sensor. It's held back from a bad lens and a lack of optical image stabilization. And in my testing with Gcam, and I'll have links to that up here, the HM2 sensor has performed really well, and it's good hardware. The problem is that for Xiaomi to give it optical image stabilization would require them to spend more money because it's a big sensor and the manufacturing and assembly process costs more. Xiaomi purely cut costs to not give that to us. Yes, the Mi 11T Pro offers a Samsung E4 AMOLED display, and that said, you guys should know the difference between the Samsung E4 and E3 AMOLED displays, which this device has an E3 AMOLED display. The E3 AMOLED display versus E4 offers an extra 200 nits of brightness and 15% less power consumption. That's it. The E4 AMOLED displays that Xiaomi uses are the lowest tier because they are not LTPO and they are not variable refresh rate in regards to giving us 90 Hertz. They are stuck at 120 Hertz, and the E4 panels are good, but they are nowhere close to being flagship, and Xiaomi using E4 as a marketing hype drives me crazy. The Xiaomi Mi 11T and Mi 11T Pro did feature the Snapdragon 888 on the Mi 11T Pro and the Dimensity 1200 on the Mi 11T. Both of these SoCs are flagship, top-of-the-line SoCs at this given time, and that is great. Xiaomi did also introduce 120 watt wired charging, which is amazing, and it's fantastic. That said, we don't know if these devices are going to feature Qualcomm Quick Charge 5 compatibility, or if they are going to be stuck only getting that 120 watts with the supplied chargers. For those that don't know, the new Qualcomm Quick Charge 5 standard works with the USB-C power delivery protocol, meaning you can use a charger like this RAV Power 65 watt GAN USB-C power delivery charger, and it would charge your device at 65 watts. If Xiaomi has chosen not to adopt the Quick Charge 5 standard, that's really unfortunate, and that means that you are only going to be able to get that really impressive charging speed with the supplied charger and cable. And in my opinion, that is terrible for device compatibility and digital e-waste as a whole. I posted about this on Reddit, and I chatted with a bunch of people in the Global Creator Conference, and the consensus opinion was that these devices from Xiaomi were kind of a letdown, especially with the price hike of the Xiaomi Mi Pad 5 for Europe, when Apple has also introduced the new iPad with the A13 Bionic chip at $329, which is cheaper than the Mi Pad. It seems like Xiaomi this year is kind of lost, in my opinion. I don't like the direction that Xiaomi is going in, and it's more than just cameras. Xiaomi has dedicated gaming phones, yet it seems like if it's not a flagship device, we're getting mediocre camera performance on the high end from Xiaomi. And ultimately, to me, that's a disappointment because your gaming phones should have potato cameras, but all of your other devices should be a well-rounded smartphone usage experience. And this for sure means that I'm never gonna get sent a press device from Xiaomi. Okay. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment, hit me up on Twitter. I love to chat with you guys. And until next time, it's been Mitchell. Peace.